$45 a month for it.
And now, when did you meet Dad?
Oh,
So you did not meet him in Peoria?
This was in Peoria. No.
All right, so you left Peoria.
I worked in Peoria for a year.
Yeah.
And then, but I went home every weekend. Went back to Springfield every weekend because this is still in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing for a 20-year-old single female in Peoria. You wouldn't dare go out alone because Peoria is a tough river town, factory river town. It wasn't safe to go out at night.
Okay.
So, it was not exactly the most exciting.
And how did your parents feel about you living in Peoria when you were 20 years old on your own?
They did a very good job of biting their tongue.
And so you feel like they really,
They
said,
to death.
they said, this is what she wants to do, and we want to give her wings, and
that's exactly what they did.
And not a word was said.
Never said a word.
And now, where was Aunt Franny at this point? She was married.
She was married and had Ann by this time. They were probably at Maxwell.
Okay, and so
I'm not sure.
Were your parents, were they worried about the fact that you were single after having graduated college?
They never burdened me with that.
You never heard it. You never felt any.
No. They gave me full.
Was that from your mom or from your dad?
Probably a combination of both.
Okay, so even Grandma was like, "Yep, let her go."
Yeah, it was. But I went home every weekend.
And you went home every weekend by train, by car?
Well, when I first went, I went in April, and I took my mother's car. It was a '39 Ford.
Okay.
And I drove it, and
now, did that have a crank in the front that you had to crank?
No.
It didn't. You put gas in it and just started the ignition and went on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have to crank it. Let's see. I went to work I graduated in February. Went to work in April. So I took my mother's car, and I don't think I ever appreciated the fact that she let me have her car as much as I should have. Although we had a bus right down the corner. She didn't need the car that much. We had a grocery store here and a bus to go downtown.
And did she have Christine?
And she had Christine. I don't remember whether she had Christine at that time or not. But anyway, I took her car, which was a '39 Ford.
Now, what kind of a Ford? Was that
It was
Model A? Was there some other name for it?
It was a V8.
Okay. Because, it started Model T, then went to Model A.
Model A, and then the V8 came in.
That was the third version of a Ford car?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Okay.
And so anyway, I had it, and I drove it all summer. And basically, they let me have it so I could come home on the weekends. So I worked until 4:30 or 5 o'clock on Friday night, and then I drove home.
How far of a drive was that in a V8 Ford?
Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
Okay.
Would be, but these are on not great roads.
Country roads. And
yeah.
Now, were you like a college student and you came home on the weekends to do your laundry?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't recall having any facilities to do my laundry in that apartment. So I probably did take my laundry home and did it, but anyway.
Did you do it or did Grandma?
I don't remember. How much laundry did I have,
I don't know.
But,
did you wear hats? Did you have to wear hats to work? Or, I don't know what protocol was.
No.
So, when you were working, were you in an environment where it was like a receptionist and 8 managers, 8 men, whatever? How many women were working at the same time as you in your workspace?
There were probably more women than men because they were clerks and secretaries and I was the only sort of management.
Really?
Yeah.
And was that awkward for you?
In a way, yeah.
I mean, like, did you have somebody to have lunch with, or did you, like, sit at your desk and eat your lunch? Were you at a different level
Yeah,
of the other women?
it was just kind of a difficult situation.
So they kind of spurned you and you didn't know how to socialize,
it
or?
was just awkward. It was awkward.
So, like, do you remember what did you do for, like, lunch? Did you?
Well, I spent $35 on my lunch. I remember that. You know, it's me.
Okay.
I only remember.
Was this
numbers.
at an automat kind of
No,
place?
it was in the plant cafeteria.
Plant cafeteria. And so,
And for 35 cents, I got a full meal.
and did you sit at a table by yourself? Did you have people to have lunch with, or did you take it back to your desk? How did that work?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you?
Now let me tell you one thing. This might explain some of this. One of the people I was in the personnel office,
Right.
and I was hired to be in charge of employment testing.
Right.
And this is right after World War II, and it was absolutely crazy.
It's in the middle of World War II. This was 1945.
It was 45. It was winding down, and Caterpillar had hired this PhD who thought he was God incarnate, and he was going to develop a test so that you could give everybody you hired a test to know exactly where you were going to place them.
Okay.